But LEGO hasn't launched a non-licensed IP that lasted longer than 3 years in more than a decade, ignoring Monkey Kid, which I'll get to later. So today I want to look at the reason why most original LEGO themes suck these days. So, turns out I was wrong. Would you believe it? Something like that would never happen to me otherwise. Never! My most popular video by now is the one you just saw, on the topic of why new LEGO themes aren't as good as the old ones. Due to the popularity that video has gained, it also caused me to reflect on my opinions, especially since there were quite a number of comments disagreeing with me. The straw that broke the camel's back in the end though was this comment. Usually comments don't really evoke much of a response from me, but this one did. The one thing I never want to fall victim to is the trope of critiquing everything new because I'm so blinded by nostalgia and melancholy. This extends from LEGO related topics to pretty much anything in my life, so when this comment popped up, it took me out of it. It took me some time to think about it and get my thoughts in order, but I am here now, so I want to go through that video and kind of dismantle my arguments one by one. By the way, leave your opinion on this topic in the comments and subscribe while you're at it means a lot to me. But now I want to start with the obvious fact that I was blinded by nostalgia and turned into that very person that idolizes their time and then goes on to critique all following eras. I do not want to be that person. Aside from LEGO, we find examples of this again and again and again through history. In school, we recently covered the topic of the German language's decay, as many people call it. They say that the language is being destroyed by Anglicisms and other aspects, while the truth is that those same arguments have been made for nearly a century. It's based on a narcissistic view of history, and I fell victim for that very same trope when I made my video. But I think I learned from it. One of the points I made in my original video was that the shorter runtime of modern themes was proof for their downfall. As counterexamples of older LEGO themes, I used things like Ninjago or even Friends. Now, arguing against my point here is actually really easy if you just stop seeing everything through tunnel vision. Friends, Ninjago or Bionicles were the exceptions. They were literal dimes and dozens. And such themes will come around again. I mean, look at Monkey Kid right now. It does still pander heavily to China and doesn't sell well in Western countries, which is why in most stores you can't even find the sets in stores anymore, but that's a topic for another video. Themes like Hidden Side did still perform terribly, but I said in that we can't discount the old themes that didn't last very long as well. One of my favorite themes, Atlantis, only lasted 1 year. Not a single Dino theme had a longer runtime than a year, and even other beloved themes didn't make it past a year. Monster Fighters, Power Miners, Rock Raiders, Time Cruisers, and Pharaoh's Quest are just some examples of themes that didn't endure longer than a year, so persecuting Hidden Side for the same thing just isn't right. Another argument I made was that new themes 1 didn't have a distinctive look, and 2 didn't allow a whole lot of freedom for creative play since they were already so serialized. Now I want to go through this one point at a time. I still do agree that these themes would profit from a more distinctive look. Dreams does still give me a headache, but I was too harsh on themes like Monkey Kid or Hidden Side. While the latter one did have a horrible concept, it still had its own look. And when we're talking about unique identities, we can't disregard the concept of a theme. Dreams may be all over the place when it comes to looks, but dreams are supposed to be wacky and all over the place. Shout out to this comment by the way, you were totally right. Also, a lot of older themes didn't follow that specific guideline either. Let's look at Ninjago, which started off with a relatively unanimous look, but strayed farther and farther away from that with every new wave. Now, while there's plenty to critique when it comes to Ninjago, you can't deny that it's still selling incredibly well. If it didn't, LEGO would have ended it a long time ago. To address the point of newer themes not leaving a whole lot of space for creativity in terms of play due to its over-serialization, I can say, I was just wrong. Dreams is one of the most ambiguous themes when it comes to its identity and leaves so much space for creative freedom. Monkey Kid and Hidden Side, for example, are a little more limited in that aspect, but still leave more than enough to the imagination of a child playing with it. Also, this is a point that can be perfectly repeated with every new generation of LEGO. The very original fans probably said the same about some of the first themes, complaining that now you're limited to things like Western or Pirates. Then the fans of those properties probably complained about the themes of the late 90s and early 2000s, since they are much weirder than just space or castle or whatever. And now we've come to the point where fans of those themes are hating on the new ones, just like you've seen me do in the video. Now, I still believe that the theme like Hidden Side failed because of forceful app inclusion and Nexonites because of a shit concept, but nonetheless, that doesn't make new LEGO IPs bad in general. So, no, new LEGO themes don't suck.